Poncho knows the subject is poor submissions. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, the show's coming up. I got a couple of days to get my application in. So you go and you upload a couple of the images. They're low resolution. They crop kind of weird. You might have shot some of them with your phone. All right, now you got to put the specs in. So you line about the year. You might have 3 titles for that piece. You put it in anyway. When you put your specs in, you're not looking at capitalizations, misspellings. You're not looking at when you put the size and dimensions that it's the right height and width. You're not looking at the fact that you're using inch marks or foot marks. You're not looking at when you do your medium, does it make sense or is it too long? You're not looking at your price and how consistent it is. And then you're putting in that weak-ass bio that you wrote 5 years ago with another picture that might be a selfie. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Oh, and when you submit your images, you're leaving image numbers rather than putting your name or your title on it. So now when you submit that, you got all these images floating around. None of them are designated for your submission. This is called a poor submission. And I'm going to tell you, most of y'all out here are doing at least one of those things. Most of y'all out there. So take the time. If you got an image file with your images of your artwork, all of those images shouldn't say IMG or DSC. There should be a title. Your image. Don't put headshot. Write your name. Is that hard? Biography. You don't have biography by Larry Poncho Brown. I put Larry Poncho Brown on all of my pieces. I put the title of the piece. Okay? I'm not leaving it for the juror or the other person to categorize my stuff when they got 1,000 other things to interview. So you don't even realize that you're either putting in a clear solution, a clear submission, or a poor one. And what happens when you do a poor submission, they're not going to use your stuff on advertising. If they don't have the information, they ain't going to fight you for it. You know, so poor submissions is probably the biggest mistake that y'all making when you put pieces. Hey, when you go through a submission and you put those 2 pieces in, make sure you deliver those 2 pieces. I'm watching artists submit one thing and then bring something else. How does that work? I don't understand, and I don't think you do either, but I don't think you also know how trifling it looks. If you want to be a hobbyist, go back and grab yourself some crayons. But if you want to be a professional, it's time to raise your game, because many of y'all submissions look worse than you think. Poncho knows. Peace.